Hello and welcome to the Slingshot channel with another knife episode. And today we have something really special. The biggest knife from Midgard's Messer that I've ever gotten into my hands. The Tyrfing sword. Let me show you its features. Yeah, the Midgard's Tyrfing sword. A huge and very heavy short sword that goes back to Norse mythology. Tyrfing was actually the name of a sword that was like cursed, and it had a lot of power, but it was also very dark. You could read up about the Tyrfing sword on Wikipedia, for example. Very interesting. In any case, the special part of this sword is that, yes, it is short, and this makes it very maneuverable. So this is also really good for like closer combat or indoor fighting, because it's short, but it has the weight of a full, long sword. And that's because the steel it's been made from is 1 centimeter thick, so 40 inch thick. So that's much thicker than anything else I've seen so far. It is razor sharp on both sides, and it weighs 1.7 kilos, which really is about as heavy as a full-size sword. And this is like real jade. This little skull symbol here that serves as a pommel is real jade. So it's a fantastic sword that I really love, and we're gonna test it to the max today. This is a 500 euro sword, and there's not too many of them. So if you want one, I think you should hurry. Comes with a Scheidex sheath, so really nice. So to really test if it's as effective as I hope it is, I use one of Rolfi's old chewing bones, and this is actually cow bone. Cow weighs like about 600 kilos, so that's a lot heavier than a typical human being. And we'll see how it performs now that I've molten it into a really nice block of ballistic gelatin. Okay. Whoa! Well, as you can see, this was a deep cut, and it went all the way to the bone. So I think if that would have been like a human arm or leg, it would be it would have chopped it off. But I'm gonna hack at it again just to see if this makes any difference. Yeah! Whoa! Now you can see that the bone actually broke. Yeah, here you can see this was the cut, and actually the cut then made the entire bone breaking just because of the heavy impact. Very interesting. And here you can see nicely how the first hit critically damaged the bone. The next knife I want to show you is also a release sample, and this is actually my fillet knife, folding knife. Super light, super sharp, super dangerous. So what is so special about this knife is that it's super lightweight. It weighs less than 100 grams. So super lightweight. It has carbon fiber scales and marble fiber. Also this little prolongation here of the handle is also carbon fiber. It locks in both conditions. So this means that it is very safe to carry, just because otherwise the thin blade could easily kind of escape here. But if you want to unlock it, what you have to do is you have to hold it like so, then you press down on the little switch here, and then you can open it, and then it's rock solid, like so. Very nice. Super lightweight, super sharp, super flexible blade. Really an amazing collector's piece. 1,200 pieces only, and it's like 280 euros. Let's test the sharpness. Wow. Whoa. It's so sharp. Das ist sowas von Rasiermesser scharf. Wahnsinn. Wow. How does it cut the ballistic jelly? Well, what do you think? Of course, effortless. It's truly effortless. The most scary thing that I have for you today. The Nano Hellard. A design by yours truly. So this thing you can, because it has a clip, you can wear it anywhere, you know, like in the t-shirt, in a shirt pocket, on the belt, in the pocket, as you see. And it looks like nothing else. There's of course a removable bit holder here, so it's magnetic. And also there's a glass breaker in the front. But what happens is that if you swing this open, then it turns into a fist knife, like so. And it doesn't lock, therefore it is absolutely legal in Germany and also legal to carry, because it's a two-hand opener and also a tool, as you can clearly see. The whole thing does not need to be locked, because if you hold it like so, it cannot fold in. And we're going to stress this really hard today, the hardest way possible, by using it. The opponent of the day is this thing here that I bought a long time ago from Zombie Go Boom. I think a channel that no longer really exists. Sadly, the apocalypse killed this really interesting and amazing channel. I'm very sad. So in the last days, in order to help these boys, I bought a few of them. And this one actually suffered much from the fire in the shed, but it survived, and it is still a very, very hard and tough opponent. So let's see how it fares against the Nano Hellard that I will try to drive into the eye socket or somewhere in the face and see what happens. All right. So folks, look at this. I mean, look at this. If that's not a zombie killer, then I don't know what is. Look at this. Right through the forehead. Did you see how easily this thing penetrated the skull of that zombie? Amazing. And that's a realistic dummy. Wow. It is a great tool. It works if you abuse it as a weapon too. But I think it's also so unusual that it will find a lot of lovers. Next is my rescue hammer. I tested earlier versions to a really good success. So this is the rescue hammer. And the rescue hammer actually has a few features. Of course, first of all, it's a really powerful, very heavy hammer with a glass breaker. And also it has this folding out arm that locks in place really in a solid way. It is also numbered. This one is not a limited edition, but the first production one is limited to 2,400 pieces. It's 440C steel, and as you see, this is not a common saw. It's a saw that's designed to cut open front shield windows of cars so that you can rescue someone who's trapped in there. It also has a really sharp beak here, so this is not only to punch a hole through the shield so that you can get in, but this is also designed to cut seat belts. So you very easily cut a seat belt with this. It's razor sharp. And this blade is also exchangeable and not too expensive, because if you are finished saving someone through the front shield, this will get a little bit blunt. It's unavoidable. So you can exchange it. So this is much more compact than the previous models that have been on the market. And it's also, if you abuse it, it's also a very scary weapon in an emergency situation. And we're also going to test this today. So next we're going to try to abuse the rescue hammer. And keep in mind, this is actually abusing a tool. So I'm not saying you should do this. I'm just trying to test in an emergency situation if that could be used for like self-defense against the zombie. Whoa. Folks, I cracked this open like an eggshell. Wow, look how thick this is. To give you an idea how long it takes to design a new product that is ready for production. So this was my design. Actually, it was one of the latest iterations of my hammer project. And this one pretty much is what made it into production. And I designed this on November 1st, 2022. So you can imagine how many things it took to bring this into production. And if you see, still to this day, all the dimensions are now very much the same. That didn't change. I had to give up on the bolt cutter because that cut here didn't work. It made the hammer less stable and that was unacceptable, of course. But all the rest is just still the same. So that was really a good job. So now that I kind of closed the open wounds in the skull of the poor zombie here, it's still completely intact regarding the face, so it's good for a few more tests, I think. So as you may know, if you follow the Walking Dead series, there are zombies underwater, just because they don't have to breathe. So once they drop into a body of water, they can stay there indefinitely and they will still remain dangerous. So the Scuba Ashinger underwater harpoon gun that is powered by air. Let's see how it fares if we shoot a zombie into its face. Should be interesting. And we've been using the new compressor from AEA, which is able to do 7000 psi, 485 bar. And I filled these huge cartridges with that much load, so they're like small hand grenades now, and immensely powerful. Okay. And we're going for both at a time. Und wir schießen mit beiden Läufen gleichzeitig. Dead Zombie. Das ist ein toter Zombie. Schauen wir mal. Ja. So as you see, in this part, this skull is actually completely massive. It's like massive plaster, and it completely cracked it open. So that was for sure a super deadly blow. So this is about 100 milliliters. 100 milliliters is really not much. I mean, it's like 2 shot glasses. And this means that 5 liters, actually 5 liters of air are compressed down into this small thing. So that's quite a lot. And this is of course under massive pressure. This means that this cartridge, when empty, weighs like almost 7 grams less than the full cartridge. This is the weight of the air. So lots of new knives. I hope that you liked this video because that's it for today. Thanks and bye bye.